This is your host, Chad Bauman. With me, as usual, my partner, Trey Daubert. Today is Tuesday night, June 18th, recording this show. Trey, how's it going?
I'm doing all right, Chad. I'm a little stressed out right now. The Celtics are a mess. I don't know what's going on. Seems like nobody wants to play here. They're just screwed, Chad. They're just totally screwed. But we can get into this later. So my evening, it's a little rocky right now.
Well, I mean, it could be worse, you know?
It could be the Grizzlies or some shit like that.
Yeah, there's always opportunities to not be the Grizzlies.
But first, let's start out. Chad, big news of the week. I don't even remember when this happened. Recently, your boy, Pennsylvania, Carson Wentz, signed his new long-term extension with the Philadelphia Eagles 2 years before he had to sign it. Chad, this has to fire you up.
Oh, this is just too good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was waiting for this. You made a good point. You wrote an article about it a couple weeks ago when it first happened. You said better get it. You know, they saved themselves money by getting it done early. And I think that's absolutely true. There's no doubt that Carson Wentz is top, I would say top 10, maybe top 5 in the league. He's certainly the best quarterback in the division. So you have an opportunity to lock him up long term. I think you got to pull it. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't even think it was that crazy of a deal. Like, I don't even think he has the top 5 contract in the league right now, does he?
I'd have to relook at it, but off the top of my memory, it wasn't a high number at all. He kind of took a bit of a team-friendly contract to me. And I'm glad you mentioned this part about being the best quarterback in the division, because Dallas has to pay their guy, and he wants more money than Wentz. He wants $34 million a year for Dak Prescott. And if you're Philadelphia right now, you have to be sitting there laughing because you get this deal done with Wentz. You have a number set for the rookie extension. And Dallas has to pay Dak earlier because Dak wasn't a first-round pick. So they don't have the luxury of the fifth-year option. Dallas is screwed. They're done. They're in no man's land.
It definitely feels good when we can lock up a quality guy like Carson for, what is it, like 7 years now they still have him? Through 2024, I think. And then screw over Dallas all in one shot. Yeah, definitely feels good. It's a heartwarming story you like to hear about.
I also want to mention there's a lot of people, I think it's just maybe a short-term memory thing. People love the what have you done for me now lately thing. Carson Wentz is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. He's going to come out firing this year. All those people that, oh, well, Nick Foles and he's really Wentz, he's not that good, and what's he ever accomplished? First of all, Philadelphia never wins that Super Bowl without Wentz. They needed home field advantage. It's just not arguable. And the guy is flat out talented. He might have his injury problems. He's been injured a couple times, but when he's out on the field, he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. It's not debatable.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, last year before he went out with the back problem, he was basically throwing everything with his arm because he couldn't rotate to get his core in behind his throws, and I think that's probably part of the reason why a lot of the explosiveness from their offense was missing last year, I think, when Wentz came back, because he was trying to throw everything with his arm, but he was still bombing it. So,
and I think another thing to mention, I don't know if this is fair or not, but Philadelphia had a Super Bowl hangover a little bit. Got off to a little bit of a slow start. Lost a couple games they shouldn't have lost. Season got, rough start. Wentz wasn't healthy. I think now they have a full off season. Get it going. Wentz knows he's paid. He's the guy. They reloaded the defense a little bit. I think Philadelphia's got to steamroll the division.
Yeah, people are forgetting our secondary was held together with like bubble gum and paper clips at one point.
Ice up, son.
Bad. It was bad.
I think by like week 6 or 7, the only guy that was in the secondary that came into the season as a starter was Malcolm Jenkins. Everybody else was backups.
What? No love for Cravon LeBlanc.
He wasn't a starter coming into the season. He picked his play up in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong.
Picked up off the street.
Yeah, I mean, and him especially, and I think he actually got cut. I'm not 100% certain.
He was on the Patriots. He got cut.
Yeah. So if you look at the game he played against the Saints, which was basically his first game, and then the game he played against the Saints in the playoffs, completely different guy.
That was wild. But, Chad, you should be excited. Do you have anything else to add on Wentz before we jump into the craziness of the NBA?
No, man. I just can't wait to go see him during a game next year. Get back to his original magic that he had 2 years ago.
All right, so we'll get started on the NBA. Make sure to check out the website, vendettasportsmedia.com. Follow Chad on Twitter at Lilfooted, LALFOOTED. He has the return of Heavyweight Hot Takes. Give that a listen. I'm a huge fan of this show. His rant about the U.S. women's soccer team, must listen. Definitely a must listen. Also follow me on Twitter at Trey Daubert. All right, let's get it started, Chad. First thing, most recent thing, Anthony Davis trade. Couple things. Let's get your takeaway here first. What do you got for us?
I don't have anything pulled up right now, but if I'm remembering, New Orleans got 3 picks. The 4 this year. The 4 this year. And they were another pick this year and 1 next year, right?
It's 3 first-round picks, but 2 pick swaps included, or 2 additional pick swaps. Yeah.
And then they got Lonzo, Hart, and Brandon Ingram.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know. I think I don't really like the players. I kind of do like the picks situation that New Orleans has going with this trade. I do like Brandon Ingram. I'll say that.
I have a couple things to say. Number one, I am absolutely disgusted by the Pelicans ownership, the Pelicans front office. The fact that all of this drama went around about how Anthony Davis pouted, how he requested trade in the middle of the season, how he has that rat-faced Rich Paul running around the arena, how he's leaving games early, how he requests a trade and then wants to play, but he only wants to play limited minutes so he doesn't get hurt, and this, and he wants that, and he wants this, and he wants that, and then he wears the That's All Folks t-shirt, and then he claims his mom dresses him, and then all this drama about how he's forced himself onto the Lakers. The fact that the Pelicans just said, you know what, we'll trade him to the Lakers, is flat out fucking embarrassing. I don't know if this is just me, but there's no way as a human being with my personality, if I'm running the Pelicans, there's any chance that I'm trading him to the Lakers, and I don't care what they offer. There's just no way.
It's not going to happen.
After all the shit that his agent did about how he convoluted LeBron James and Rich Paul to say, oh, we're just sending him to the Lakers and that's just how it's going to be. To let that guy get his way is flat out embarrassing.
Well, I get where you're coming from, but didn't the one guy get canned in the middle of the season after the trade talk started up?
Yeah, Dell Demps. Yeah, he got fired.
Yeah, if you're a guy in the front office, the Lakers are offering you all these picks and all, the 3 players. I mean, you're not trying to lose your job.
That brings me to point number 2. What the did New Orleans get here? What did they get? Lonzo Ball sucks. His shot's broken. He's been hurt more than he's played. He's not an asset in any way, shape, or form. What's so good about him? He's missed more games than he played, and he can't shoot. What's so good about him? Then we have Brandon Ingram, who currently has blood clots. I like Brandon Ingram, but you cannot trade for Brandon Ingram after he has blood clots. That can't be a trade piece. It just can't. And then you have Josh Hart, who I like. I like Josh Hart. But that can't be the number one player in a trade for Anthony Davis. That's not acceptable.
But that's the thing. I don't think it's Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. I don't think the players are the main focus of this trade. The picks are the main focus. Those are the main thing you're getting.
That brings me to point number 3. So the 2019 NBA draft is regarded as a 3-player draft. It's Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, John Morant are the top 3 guys. Then it's considered to be a big drop-off. The Pelicans got the 4th pick. That pick could easily be a bust. Chad, who's the 4th best player in this draft? Tell me who it is. I don't know who it is. Do you know who it is?
I don't, but, I mean, that being said, it's not like they have to use this pick. They can wheel and deal this pick.
Okay, well, what's the trade? Give me the trade. What happens with the 4th pick? I've heard all these scenarios about, this 4th pick. It's so valuable. It's so valuable. Remember, Lonzo Ball was the 2nd pick in the draft. How good is he? Brandon Ingram was the 2nd pick in the draft. How good is he? D'Angelo Russell was the 2nd pick in the draft. The Lakers basically gave him away. Like, people talk about all these draft picks. You have to get the right guy. You have to make sure that guy is good. Markelle Fultz was the number 1 pick. Where's he? Everything that I've been told about this draft is that it's a 3-player draft. The Pelicans got the 4th pick. That could be anybody. That could be a 20% hit rate. We have no idea. Can anybody sit here today and tell me they are 100% confident that this guy they can have with the 4th pick and he'll be an all-star? That's what I want to know. Who is it?
I mean, I think, like you said, it could go anywhere.
But who is it? Give me a name, Chad. Who blows you away? Who says, you know what, this number 4 pick, this was the big reason why we traded Anthony Davis to the Lakers? Because it's not the players. We've pointed that out. It wasn't the players. If these picks are so great and this is so valuable, this number 4 pick will probably be the highest pick you ever get from the Lakers. So you better like it a lot. And you better like who you're picking at number 4. So who the hell is it? I want to know.
Top of my head. The one guy. They could go after the guy from Texas Tech.
Oh, great, Jared Culver, 6'5" and can't shoot. Wonderful.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
This is my point, though. The number 4 pick is a lot sexier than whatever name you're going to put attached to that number 4 pick. So let's say it's Culver. Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Jarrett Culver. That blows your dick off for Anthony Davis?
I mean, they had to move him. Maybe this was the best trade package they got.
Here's the other problem. Brandon Ingram needs a contract extension after this season. How do you know how much money he wants? What happens if he has a good year and you can't afford him? Then you basically then Ingram's a wash. He was nothing. The year after, Lonzo Ball needs a contract extension. What if his dad's all over the place running his mouth and he wants too much money? Then you let him walk. Then you're left with a bunch of picks, and you know the picks after this year aren't going to be worth anything because LeBron and Anthony Davis will at least be a playoff team that's going to be in the 20s. Picks in the 20s aren't that valuable. So what the hell did you get? I thought this was totally embarrassing for the Pelicans. It couldn't have been a worse deal, and we've always been reminded of this, and it's always true. The team that gets the best player in the trade always wins the trade. The Pelicans should have just tried to get the best player they could instead of trying to get oh, we'll try to get 800 first-round picks that'll be worthless, and we'll add all these players who aren't very good, but we're getting a lot of stuff at least.
Well, let's look at it like this, because everyone is assuming that they're going to take Zion, and I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Stop it.
Well, hold on one second. So, what if they're in full tank mode?
Okay.
They trade the first round pick or the first overall pick and the fourth pick.
It's not going to happen.
And they're like, we want 1 million first rounders from now until kingdom come.
Stop it. You have to take Zion, Chad.
I know, I'm just trying to spitball.
I thought this was embarrassing. I really did. I couldn't have been more disappointed. And again, I don't know what you could have gotten. There's just no way this is the best they could have done. There's just no way. And the fact that it's the Lakers, after all the shit that they did, trying to, we're going to send him to LA and you don't have a choice and this is the way it is and we control the league, not you, and that. There's just no way.
I mean,
there's just no way. I thought it was embarrassing.
Who else could the Pelicans have gotten from the Lakers, though? I mean,
I would have traded them to the Lakers. That's the point. Why deal them to the Lakers? What makes the Lakers so attractive?
If the Lakers are giving you the best package,
I still wouldn't have done it. F them. After all the shit they did, it's like the Spurs when Kawhi wanted to go to Los Angeles. F him. If I'm the Spurs and he wants out, I'm not trading him to where he wants to go. I'm too spiteful as a human. That's just me. I'm too vindictive.
And I'm gonna get mine.
Okay,
I'm too revengeful.
I mean, look at it this way. We've been talking about where Anthony Davis could be traded to. I think we said Boston was a destination at some point. Who else?
Knicks.
The Knicks. I mean, let's say the Knicks are offering. We'll give you what? The Knicks pick 7. No, they pick 3. So the Knicks are like, we're not giving you the 3rd pick. We'll give you a first rounder next year, and I don't know who else do the Knicks have to trade. No one, because they're waiting on KD, hoping they get KD, hoping they get Kyrie. Who are the Knicks going to trade? They don't have anybody to trade.
I would have rather sent them to Houston. I'll take Clint Capella and a bunch of unprotected ones.
Right? Was Houston calling though?
Yeah.
Was Houston blowing up their phone?
Houston was trying to make trade proposals. I'll take Clint Capella and a bunch of unprotected ones. And by the time Chris Paul ages another 2 or 3 years, those draft picks might be valuable. Those Lakers picks aren't going to be valuable.
Well, Houston was calling last year at the trade deadline, trying to get AD when the drama was going on.
Yeah, and I just read that they were trying to get him this year too. And Capella would be the best guy you could get. He's better than Ingram and he's better than Lonzo, and you could have gotten those picks from Houston.
So I didn't hear that Houston was still trying to go after him. I was thinking maybe Houston stopped calling because they got walked in the playoffs by Golden State, and they say we don't have it right now.
Houston's desperate.
Help me! Help me!
They're stuck with Chris Paul. They're all in. There's no way they wouldn't offer Clint Capella and a bunch of unprotected ones. And they have other guys. Tell me I couldn't have Eric Gordon, who's a nice player. I couldn't have PJ Tucker, who's a nice player. What the hell's Lonzo Ball do for me? What does Brandon Ingram do for me, who has blood clots? Josh Hart can't be your best player.
I'm not worried about the blood clots with
I thought it was
Brandon
embarrassing.
Ingram.
I truly do. I think it was an embarrassing trade.
I don't think it was embarrassing.
The only way this trade works out well for the Pelicans is if LeBron goes down the toilet and he in 2 years he's awful. And the Lakers are terrible in 2 years. Somehow.
That could happen.
That's the only way this trade works out.
I mean, look, this year LeBron was absolutely checked out.
Is this your game? Huh?
Oh yeah. He was.
Maybe he's not about that action anymore. LeBron might be ready to just pack it in. I mean, according to him, he's done everything he wants to do in his career.
Here's the problem, though. If you're gonna trade with the Lakers, this was my last point. If you're going to trade with the Lakers, and it's the only option, last resort, who's the best young player in the Lakers, Chad?
It's probably Kuzma.
How is he not in this trade? If you're going to trade with the Lakers, and you say, look, you can have Anthony Davis, but Kuzma's in the deal. It's not negotiable. You're telling me that New Orleans couldn't have bargained Kuzma in the deal. You can keep Lonzo. Go ahead, keep him. You can keep Ingram. I want the best young player you have. How do they not come away with Kuzma? It is unacceptable.
I mean, again, maybe they wanted the picks. LA said, "Hey, you can't have
You
Kuzma
get
and the
both.
picks."
It's then you had no deal. I thought everything about it was totally embarrassing. The fact that they didn't get Kuzma, the fact that they traded him to the Lakers to begin with, the fact that they got the number 4 pick in a 3-player draft. I thought all of it was just awful.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Well, we'll see.
All right, Chad. I guess a couple other quick NBA things we can hit. The NBA draft's on Thursday. Zion's supposed to be the number 1 pick. Morant 2. Barrett 3. Do you have any takeaways? Any sleepers that you'd like Philadelphia to take? Any guys that outside the top consensus guys you think are going to be really good? I'm going to list off a couple names that I want the Celtics to pick. You tell me what you think. My number 1 guy I want, and again, I don't know how many guys they'll pick because they have 3 first-round picks, and I don't see how any of them, or more than one of them, will make the roster. Number 1 guy I want is Bol Bol. 7'3" center from Oregon. He shot 52% from 3, 57% from the field. He had the second player efficiency rating in the country. According to the analytics, he's the number 1 player in the draft. 97% chance to become an all-star. Sorry, I said that wrong. 97% chance to become a starter. Zion Williamson came out at 95% in the graphic that they released. He has a 7'7" wingspan. He can block shots. Great rebounding radius. He can handle the ball really well. The only downside is he had a foot injury, which is making him slide. And at that point in the draft, at 14, 20, wherever he goes, that's the guy I want.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all dart throws at that point.
I mean, if the Celtics take him, you may have to watch out for Utah, though. They could trade up potentially to try to get him.
They already have Rudy Gobert. What do they need him for?
Right, so Gobert is probably one of the best defensive centers in the league. But if they grab this guy, look out. That's a lot. That's offense and defense coming out of the center position.
You want 2 of them.
Hey, man, get greedy. That's how you win.
So you like that pick?
I like Bol Bol, yeah. That's definitely a good one.
Another guy I like, he's actually a Philly boy. DeAndre Hunter, national champ from Virginia.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Looks like he's going to go decently high. The thing I like about him is 6'7". He's played college basketball for a while, so you kind of know what you're getting. I don't know why, but a lot of the NBA guys don't like guys that play college basketball. But I feel like the guys that stay in school, like the Josh Harts of the world, they always seem to make it. He's a really good defender, shoots the ball well. Good player for Virginia. I like him a lot. I don't know how high he's going to go, but I like him.
I think Cleveland takes him at 5.
Okay, I was hoping maybe 8, and then the Celtics could trade up, but
I think Cleveland's looking for him.
Very possible.
They got a point guard last year, even though apparently he doesn't know what he's doing, according to his teammates. Maybe I think they're trying to fill out that backcourt.
Another guy I like. It looks like he's going to go in the second round, maybe undrafted. Admiral Schofield. I don't know if you saw him, Chad, from Tennessee. This year, he's a senior, 6'5", shoots the ball well. He's probably the most jacked player in the draft. I don't know. That just gets me going.
Pause.
Looks like he could beat up a bunch of dudes in a fight. I always feel like these teams should start looking for the next Draymond Green. At some point, one of these guys is going to be it. Schofield looks like he has at least a chance to be it. Good defender, shoots the ball well, tough. Senior, stayed in school, has some passion, some fire to him. I like him a lot.
I didn't see much of him. I'm not going to lie there.
Okay.
One name that I have, though, that I think the Sixers... I talked to you before. I think the Sixers, they could potentially trade up and try to get Cameron Johnson out of North Carolina. Because, again, they have that 24th pick. They have 4 picks in the second round. 2 of them are pretty high. One's kind of towards the middle, and then one's towards the back end of the second. So they could try to trade up. Because the other team looking maybe that might take Cameron Johnson is OKC. So they'd have to get ahead of them potentially. But if the Sixers don't trade up, I'm thinking. I mean, they may try to go after Ty Jerome out of Virginia.
Oh, he stinks.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
I mean, look, what they need right now, the way their offense is built, they need a spot-up shooter. And I think he's 99th percentile last season spot-up shooter.
I have a better name.
Let Ben find him at his spot.
I have a better name for you. Your boy from Purdue, Carson Edwards.
He's a point guard, though.
That's the perfect spark plug off the bench that Philly needs.
Oh, coming off the bench? Yeah, maybe get TJ McConnell out of there. You never know.
McConnell's a free agent. That's the perfect spark plug off the bench for you. That's exactly what you need.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that because he's a point guard and, with Ben on the team. But, yeah, I mean, coming off the bench, you could take him at 24. I mean, he's definitely going to be there. I mean, dude might even drop into the second round. Maybe it's possible.
Another guy I like, Mfiondu Kabengele. He is related to Dikembe Mutombo. Kabengele from Florida State, shoots the ball well, got good length, 6'10", can run the floor. He was Florida State's best player this year. I think he's a very, very underrated player. Shoots the ball well, can handle it a little bit. I like him a lot too. 21, 6'10". 13 points a game. 50% from the floor. And 37% from 3. There's a French guy. Only because the Celtics have 3 first-round picks. Wouldn't mind him going a little draft and stash. I don't even know if this is how you say it, but I think it's Soke Doumbouya. Could be wrong on that. What else we got here? Rui Hachimura, maybe.
Are these all international guys?
Hachimura's from Gonzaga. Let's see here.
Him, I didn't hear about. They had that other guy out of Gonzaga.
Brandon Clark.
Yeah. The 3-point shooter.
Zach Norvell.
Yeah, him. That's who I was thinking of.
He's supposed to be a second-round pick.
Yeah. I mean,
one last name I'll bring up.
Norvell, I mean, he led the WCC in 3-point field goals made last year.
Yeah. One last name I'll bring up, Chad. We can wrap up the draft. Would you draft Taco Fall?
He's a 7-footer out of...
He's the 7'7" guy from UCF, Central Florida.
I don't know. I don't think I would draft him. Okay. I don't think he's athletic enough to play big man in the NBA nowadays.
Not even for 10 minutes a game to be your Andrew Bogut.
It would have to be like late in the second round.
Yeah.
I'm not taking him. I'm taking him bottom 15 in the second.
That's why I said, would you draft him? Not high. Would you draft him? Just a flyer. Why can't he be Andrew Bogut for 10 minutes a game?
I mean, he doesn't do anything though. He just plays. I feel like in the NBA, all he can do is play defense, and that's it.
And he picks up good fouls. He can block shots. He can catch the lob.
I don't know. I don't honestly, I don't think I draft him.
Okay. I guess there's a couple other quick things we can mention. The Chris Paul and James Harden apparently hate each other now. Daryl Morey is refuting this. Do you buy it?
Yes, I do. And I'll give you one example why. Do you ever see on social media, it's that meme, Chris Paul and James Harden? Chris Paul is talking to Harden on the bench, and Harden yells at him. You ever see that?
I did not see that.
It was from the playoffs a couple years ago when they were playing Golden State. I don't think they like each other. I think they have one of those marriages where it's like everything's going good and it's all good. But the minute everything turns bad, the love's all gone.
Why don't you love me?
I think they have a very bipolar relationship.
Isn't it crazy how all these NBA players, they're all miserable? Nobody actually likes each other. They only like each other for 6 months. And they're like, oh, we got to change locations.
Yeah, when they're recruiting each other, it's all about, oh, we love each other, he's my best friend. But then the minute they're in town and they start living with each other, then it's like, I don't like this guy.
It's crazy. They all hate each other. There isn't one group of players that I've seen these guys really love each other.
You must not be watching the Sixers.
Yeah, I'm sure Joel Embiid loves Ben Simmons.
I think they do. I know what's his name. Can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I know Jimmy. Jimmy likes Joel. I know that for sure.
I've seen that one. I think you're right about. I think Jimmy Butler does love Joel Embiid.
I know. JJ. JJ loves the city of Philadelphia. I know that. He'll get along with anybody as long as he gets to stay in Philly.
I'm not sure they like Ben Simmons though. Maybe
Ben is like their frustrating little brother.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Shoot the ball, damn it.
See, there's a couple other things. I guess my poor Celtics. I think they're screwed, Chad. What do they do? They're
Hope
done.
For a good draft. I mean, that's all you can do, right? I mean, they're losing Kyrie. Maybe, I don't know.
Horford's gone.
Kemba's not a free agent, right?
He is.
When is his contract up?
Now.
Oh, he is a free agent?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if they need a point guard, they can go after Kemba.
Would you try for D'Angelo Russell?
His contract's up too?
Restricted, but why not? Because why would the Nets want him and Kyrie? That doesn't work at all. Why not say, hey, listen, we'll cut you a deal, sign and trade. You can have Kyrie sign and trade for D'Angelo Russell.
I mean, I don't know though. D'Lo, he was a shooting guard in college.
He was the point guard for the Nets this year.
Right, this year he was the point guard for the Nets, but he was a two guard in college.
Yeah,
I mean, you bring in Kyrie, move D'Lo to the shooting guard position.
I don't think that works at all.
I think
they both need the ball.
I don't think so. D'Lo was a two guard in college at Ohio State.
All right. I don't see how it would work. A couple other names I like though. Seth Curry. I'd like to see him get starter minutes. Pat Beverly, Danny Green, Kenneth Faried. That's about all I got. It's looking bad right now, though, Chad. Things are looking awful.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
I mean, during the playoffs, it was all about how KD, was he going to play in the finals? Was he, where is he going at the end of the season? Does his torn Achilles, does that change his mind at all? Does he stay in Golden State?
I hope
After
it does. I hope it does. I hope that he stays.
He's like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to break this thing up. I got to beat Kyrie. I got to come back next year and say, yo, you won last year because I wasn't playing.
The problem is the Knicks will never win. Like, why would you want to play? Why would you want to join that train? It's like when LeBron joined this train wreck of the Lakers. The Knicks have nothing.
You suck.
I hope that he stays. I really do.
We're assuming that KD's going to the Knicks. He could go. I mean, he could sign anywhere, really.
He's going to be out the whole year.
Well, that's true. I'm just saying. I heard someone said at some point KD might go to the Lakers, and I was like, well, why?
Nah.
They just traded for Anthony Davis, so they don't. They already got a 4. I guess you could move Anthony Davis to the 5. KD plays a 4. LeBron's a 3. But I don't think Anthony Davis wants to play the 5. At least not consistently, anyway.
The only spot I'd like to see him go, I don't think it'll ever happen, but him and Kawhi in the Clippers. I like that Clippers team a lot.
Yeah, I don't think he'd end up on the Clippers.
Here's a name. I don't know if you have anything else to add, though. This is the one guy I would want the Celtics to trade for, Brad Beal.
Pick up the phone and start dialing.
Who would you give up to get him?
2 first-rounders and Marcus Smart.
And you got 3 first-rounders this year?
Yeah.
Could you get it done with a first and a second?
That's fine. You're bidding me down, okay?
I'm not saying if I'm watching it. I'm just saying, do you think you could?
Maybe. I don't know. That's the one guy I would really want. Sign a point guard like Pat Beverly. Bring in Brad Beal, Tatum, Brown, and a center. Boom. There's your team.
Honestly, I just want the Sixers to bring back the starting 5 they had last year. I think you got to run that back. I don't think they had enough time to work together. Ben Simmons, just now you're not dating Kylie Jenner or whoever Jenner. You know, you got more time to get in the gym, practice the jump shot, get some confidence, bring in some shooters in the draft, and I think we'll be good. Because if it wasn't for a weird bounce, we're playing Milwaukee. We could have been in the finals.
How about it? Looking back on that shit, it's crazy. You had it. You had it.
Missed it by that much. Anything else, Trey?
Chad? Yeah, that's about it for me.
All right, well, that's going to be a good place to wrap up this episode. I want to thank everyone for giving us a listen. Don't forget to give us a follow and a like on social media. Like us on Facebook, VendettaSportsMedia.com. On Twitter, Vendetta_media. Follow me on Twitter, @LilFooted. And follow Trey as well, @TreyDaubert. That way you can get the shows as they're posted or get any updates when it comes to sports, football, hockey for Trey, baseball, and otherwise. Thanks for giving us a listen, and we'll see you next week.